Hello there, and welcome to Fanfiction Theater. I'm Morgan Freeman, and I'll be your host again today as we journey deeper into the mystery known as My Immortal. This chapter contains self-harm. Chapter 12. Author's note: Stop okay. Hagrid is a pedo too. A lot of people in American schools are like that. I wanted to address the issue. How do you know Snap and Christian plus Hagrid isn't really in love with Ebony? That was Cedric, okay? I was about to slit my wrists again with the silver knife that Draco had given me in case anything happened to him. He had told me to use it valiantly against the enemy, but I knew that we must both go together. No, I thought it was Hagrid, but it was Vampire. He started to scream, "Oh, MFG, no, my scar hurts." And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. I stopped. How did you know? I saw it, and my scar turned back into the lightning bolt. No! I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, and it turned back into the lightning bolt. Save me. Then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him bondage. Anyway, I was in the school nurse's office now, recovering from my slit wrists. Snap and Lupin and Hagrid were there too. They were going to St. Mango's after they recovered because they were pedophiles, and you can't have those fucking pervs teaching in a school with lots of hot girls. Dumbledore had constipated the video camera that they took of me naked. I put up my middle finger at them. Anyway, Hagrid came into my hospital bed holding a bouquet of pink roses. "Eneby, I need to tell you something," he said in a V-serious voice, giving me the roses. "Fuck off," I told him. "You know I fucking hate the color pink anyway, and I don't like fucked up preps like you," I snapped. Hagrid had been mean to me before for being gothic. "No, Eneby," Hagrid says. "Those are not roses." "What, are they goths too, you poser prep?" I asked, because I was angry that he had brought me pink roses. "I saved your life," he yelled angrily. "No, you didn't," I replied. "You saved me from getting a Paris Hilton pee video made from your shower scene and being viewed by Snap and Lupin, who masturbated. See, is that spelled wrong? To it," he added silently. "Whatever," I yelled angrily. He pointed his wand at the pink roses. "These aren't roses." He suddenly looked at them with an evil look in his eye and muttered, "Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say." "That's not a spell, that's an MCR song," I corrected him wisely. "I know, I was just warming up my vocal cords." Then he screamed, "Petulus Marengo me crimically romasio." For all you cool gothic MCR fans out there, that is a tribute. Especially for Raven, I love you, girl. "Imo noto okeo." And then the roses turned into a huge black flame floating in the middle of the air, and it was black. Now I knew he wasn't a prep. "Okay, I believe you. Now WTF is Draco?" Hagrid rolled his eyes. I looked into the balls of flame, but I could see nothing. "You see, Anabi," Dumbledore said, watching the two of us watching the flame, "to see what is in the flames. Ha ha ha, you reviewers flames, get it? You must find yourself first, Kay." "I have found myself, okay, you mean old man," Hagrid yelled. Dumbledore looked shocked. I guess he didn't have a headache, or else he would have said something back. Hagrid stormed off back into his bed. "You are a liar, Prof. Dumbledore." Anyway, when I got better, I went upstairs and put on a black leather mini dress that was all ripped on the ends with lace on it. There was some corset stuff on the front. Then I put on black fishnets and black high-heeled boots with pictures of Billy Joe Armstrong on them. I put my hair all out around me so I looked like Samara from The Ring. If you don't know who she is, you're a prep, so fuck off. And I put on blood-red lipstick, black eyeliner, and black lip gloss. "You look kawaii, girl," Bloody Mary said sadly. "Fangs, get it? You do too," I said sadly too, but I was still upset. I slit both of my wrists, feeling totally depressed, and I sucked all the blood. I cried again in my bathroom and put the shades on so Snap and Lupin couldn't spy on me this time. I went to some classes. Vampire was in the hair of magic creatures. He looked all depressed because Draco had disappeared and he had used to be in love with Draco. He was sucking some blood from a Hufflepuff. "Hi," he said in a depressed way. "Hi back," I said in a darkly said way. We both looked at each other for some time. Harry had beautiful red gothic eyes, so much like Draco's. Then, we jumped on each other and started screwing each other. "Stop it now, you horny simpletons!" shouted Professor McGoggle, who was watching us, and so was everyone else. "Vampire, you fucker," I said, slapping him. "Stop trying to screw me. You know I love Draco," I shouted, and then I ran away angrily. Just then he started to scream, "Oh, MFG, no, my scar hurts!" And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. "No!" I ran up closer. "I thought you didn't have a scar anymore," I shouted. "I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation," he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, and then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him bondage. Special thanks to Raven, my Gothic's blood sister. WTF are supposed to write this. 11111111. Hey Raven, do you know where my sweater is? Chapter 13. Author's note. Raven, thanks for gelping me again. I'm sorry I took poster of Gerard, but that guy is such a fucking sex bomb. Prep, stop flamming. Vampire and I ran up the stairs looking for Dumbledore. We were so scared. "Dumbledore, Dumbledore," we both yelled. Dumbledore came there. "What is it that you want now, you despicable snobs?" he asked angrily. "Voldemort has Draco," we shouted at the same time. He laughed in an evil voice. "No, don't. We need to save Draco," we begged. "No," he said meanly. "I don't give a darn what Voldemort does to Draco. Not after how much he misbehaved in school, especially with you, Ebony," he said while he frowned, looking at me. "Besides, I never liked him that much anyway." Then he walked away. Vampire started crying. "My Draco," he moaned. Author's note. Don't you thick gay guys are like so hot? "It's okay," I tried to tell him, but that didn't stop him. He started to cry tears of blood. Then he had a brainstorm. "I had an idea," he exclaimed. "What?" I asked him. "You'll see," he said. He took out his wand and did a spell. Then, suddenly, we were in Voldemort's lair. We ran in with our wands out just as we heard a croon voice say, "Alla Cadavra." It was Voldemort. This chapter contains references to self-harm. Chapter 14. Author's note. Fuck off, preps, okay? Raven, thanks for helping again. I'm sorry I couldn't update, but I was depressed and I had to go to the hospital because I slid my wrists. P.S. I'm not updating till you give me 10 good reviews. Warning, some of this chapter is extremely scray. The hour excretion advised. We ran to where Voldemort was. It turned out that Voldemort wasn't there. Instead, the fat guy who killed Cedric was. Draco was there, crying tears of blood. Snaketail was torturing him. Vampire and I ran in front of Snaketail. "Rid my sight, you despicable preps," he shouted as we started shooting him with the gun. Then suddenly he looked at me and he fell down with a lovey-dovey look in his eyes.
"Ebony, I love you. Will you have sex with me?"
he said. In this he is 16 years old, so he's not a pedophile, okay? "Huh?" I asked. "Enoby, I love you. Will you have sex with me?" asked Snaketail. I started laughing crudely. "What the fuck? You torture my BF and then you expect me to fuck you? God, you are so fucked up, you fucking bastard," I said angrily. Then I stabbed him in the heart. Blood poured out of it like a fountain. "No!" he screamed. He started screaming and running around. Then he fell down and died. I burst into tears sadly. "Snaketail, what art thou doing?" called Voldemort. Then he started coming. We could hear his high heels clacking to us. So we got on our broomsticks and we flew to Hogwarts. We went to my room. Vampire went away. There I started crying. "What's wrong, honey?" asked Draco, taking off his clothes so we could screw. He had a sex pack, get it, 'cause he's so sexa, and a really huge you-know-what and everything. "It's so unfair," I yielded. "Why can't I just be ugly or plain like all the other girls in preps here except for Bloody Mary because she's not ugly or anything?" "Why would you want to be ugly? I don't like the preps anyway. They're such fucking sluts," answered Draco. "Yeah, but everyone is in love with me. Like Snape and Lupin took a video of me naked. Hagrid says he's in love with me, Vampire likes me, and now even Snaketail is in love with me. I just want to be with you, okay, Draco? Why couldn't Satan have made me less beautiful? I shouted angrily. Author's note. Don't worry, Innoby isn't a snob or anything, but a lot of people have told her she's pretty. I'm good at too many things. Why can't I just be normal? It's a fucking curse, I shouted, and then I ran away. This chapter contains references to self-harm and suicidal ideations. Chapter 15. Author's note. Stop flaming, okay? BTW, you suck from now on. Every time someone flams me, I'm gonna slit my wrists. Thanks to Raven for her pen. Ebony, shouted Draco sadly. No, please, come back. But I was too mad. Whatever, now you can go and have sex with vampire, I shouted. I stormed into my room and closed my black door with my blood-red key. It had a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. He looked so sexy in a way that reminded me of Draco and vampire. I started to cry and weep. I took a razor and started to slit my wrists. I drank the blood, all depressed. Then I looked at my black GC watch and noticed it was time to go to biology class. I put on a short-ripped black gothic dress that said Anarchy on the front in blood-red letters and was all ripped in a spiky belt. Under that, I put on ripped black fishnets and boots that said Joel all over them with blood-red letters. I put my ebony black hair out. Anyway, I went downstairs feeling all sad and depressed as usual. I did some advanced biology work. I was turning a bloody pentagram into a black guitar. Suddenly, the guitar turned to Draco. Inoby, I love you, he shouted sadly. I do not care what those fucker preps and posers think. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Before I met you, I used to want to commit suicide all the time. Now I just want to fucking be with you. I fucking love you. Then he started to sing The Chronicles of Life and Death. We considered it our song now because we fell in love when Joel was singing it, right in front of the entire class. His singing voice was so amazing and gothic and sexy, like a cross between Gerard, Joel, Chester, Pierre, and Marilyn Manson. Author's note, don't you think those guys are so hot? If you do not know who they are, get the fuck out of here. OMFG, I said after he was finished. Some fucking preps stared at us, but I just stuck up my middle fingers, that were covered in black nail polish and were entwined with Draco's now, at them. I love you, I said, and then we started to kiss just like Hilary Duff. I fucking hate that bitch, and CMM in a Cinderella story. Then we went away holding hands. Lupin shouted at us, but he stopped because everyone was clapping by how sexy we looked together. Then I saw a poster saying that MCR would have a concert in Hogsmeade right then. We looked at each other all shocked, and then we went together. That about does it for today. Come back next time for more of this. If you liked the video, feel free to check out the rest of the channel where I and some other characters, both real and fictional, do lots of fun things like this. Special thanks to our Patreon supporters whose names will be going by on screen now. If you want your name in the credits as well as access to other exclusive features, pledge to us on Patreon. There's a link in the description below. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.